Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor of Judea, is a figure shrouded in contradictions and complexities, and his role in the crucifixion of Jesus remains one of the most debated moments in history. Imagine standing at a crossroads burdened by the weight of public opinion, political pressure, and personal conscience. Pilate found himself in just such a dilemma. He was aware that Jesus was innocent, falsely accused by those who felt threatened by his message and influence. Yet, in a moment that would echo through time, Pilate allowed the crowd to choose between Jesus and Barabbas, a notorious criminal known for his violent acts. This decision, rooted in fear and pragmatism, would haunt him forever. The night before the trial, Pilate's wife had a vivid dream about Jesus, urging her husband to avoid any involvement with the man who would soon face an unjust trial. Her warning, filled with an almost prophetic clarity, should have served as a guiding light. Yet the pressures of governance and the fear of unrest overshadowed her plea. In the face of a restless crowd clamoring for blood, Pilate's resolve weakened. Here he was, a ruler caught between the demands of the masses and his own moral compass, and the choice he made would define not just his legacy, but also the course of history. When the moment arrived to present the two men to the people, Pilate believed he could outsmart the situation. He thought that by offering Barabbas, a man who had committed real crimes, against the innocent Jesus, the people would naturally choose to free Jesus. But the sway of the crowd is a powerful thing. Fueled by the chief priests and elders, the people shouted for Barabbas, demanding that the innocent man be sacrificed. Pilate was taken aback, but instead of standing firm in his conviction, he succumbed to the tide of public opinion. The cries for Barabbas grew louder, drowning out any reason or justice. In an act of symbolic defiance, Pilate washed his hands before the crowd, declaring himself innocent of Jesus' blood, as if that gesture could absolve him of the moral and ethical implications of his actions. It was a powerful image, one that has been interpreted in many ways throughout the years. Some see it as an admission of guilt, a desperate attempt to distance himself from the ramifications of a decision he knew was wrong. Others perceive it as a reflection of his deep inner turmoil, a ruler torn between justice and the fear of losing his power. But in this moment of washing his hands, Pilate failed to recognize that true innocence cannot be claimed through mere gestures. As the events of that fateful day unfolded, Pilate's legacy became forever intertwined with the crucifixion of Jesus. He may have thought he could escape the consequences of his decision, but history remembers him not as a mere governor, but as a man who allowed fear to dictate his actions. The cries of the crowd reverberated in his ears long after the dust had settled, and the memory of that decision haunted him. It's said that Pilate faced exile and ultimately met a bitter end, a life marked by the haunting realization that he had played a pivotal role in the condemnation of an innocent man. The story of Pontius Pilate serves as a timeless reminder of the complexities of human nature, the struggle between power and morality, and the consequences that follow when we allow fear to lead our decisions. The choice he made in that moment echoed through the ages, a cautionary tale about the cost of compromise and the importance of standing for what is right, even when it is difficult. Pilate's story invites us to reflect on our own choices and the legacies we create, urging us to consider the weight of our decisions in a world that often demands we compromise our values. In the end, it's not just about what we choose, but how those choices define who we are and how we are remembered.